Alright, this is going to be my review of the Microsoft Surface. As you can see here, I have an iPad mini, and I used to have a full-size iPad, the iPad 3 with the Retina, and I actually sold it off and bought the mini. Didn't really plan on getting the Surface, but after seeing it and looking at other reviews and whatnot, saying this kind of looks kind of interesting, and because Best Buy now during the holidays there has a 1 month return policy pretty much on anything. Figure, well, I can give it a try for a month and see what I like or if I don't like. So this is the Surface, and construction-wise, I think it's awesome. And they did an awesome job on the construction, on the engineering, the actual body of the unit. I mean, this vapor mag, as they call it, is really nice. You can see it does get a little fingerprinty, but it's not too bad. It's no worse than anything else, that's for sure. The screen itself, all Gorilla Glass. It actually seems to resist fingerprints a little bit better than the iPad. You can see if I can get a reflection there. You can see the iPad, the fingerprints on there from use, and I've been using the Surface pretty much exclusively for the last 4 days, and you can see it doesn't look anywhere near fingerprinted, which I'm kind of surprised by. I don't know if they have some kind of oleophobic coating on there or something. But whatever they're doing a good job with that. And then this is the 32 gig version, and obviously I have the touch cover. I find that very nice. I don't have any problems typing on it. Having a built-in trackpad and everything. One of my only complaints about the whole design of the unit is I wish the type cover, when it has the actual keys, would have a hinge. Some kind of way to connect with a hinge, so it's more like a clamshell kind of laptop design. I know it'll probably be very top heavy because these don't weigh anything. Hopefully, maybe somebody will come up with something third party for that. Because that's the one thing I miss compared to my my laptop, and I'm trying to replace a laptop with this. I have a MacBook Air 11-inch, and screen size is very close. It's 10.6, it's 11, so half an inch. I don't feel like I'm losing much. And there's just some times where the kickstand just isn't the right angle. And there's not much you can do about it. You can kind of chorus it up a little bit. That's about it. The other thing I would have maybe liked with the kickstand is not only to be operated this way, but to have a strong enough spring in it to operate this way, which would be a really nice angle for typing on if you want to type right on the screen. And a nice viewing angle. At certain times you're close up on a desk or something, that's a really nice angle to view at. And I think that would have been a nice option too with the kickstand. Unfortunately, the spring in the kickstand is just not strong enough. Just no way it's gonna hold it up. It's close. You feel it start to grab, but no. And that'd be something I would, Microsoft would consider. That way, you get two angles out of one kickstand instead of one. Other than that, I mean, the kickstand is very nice, very solid, very sturdy. Their whole thing about making it sound like a luxury door. I mean, it has a nice sound to it. It's not tinny or anything like that when it opens. It's not a little tinny when you hit it with your fingernail, but it's a piece of metal, so it's going to. And I like that they stuck the SD card slot behind there, so that way when you're just using the tablet, there's no chance of it ever getting accidentally clicked out, or if you just throw it in your bag and something pressed against it, it's always going to be protected. So I think that was a nice decision. Of course, the way the cover itself connects works very nice, no problems at all. Again, nice engineering. A lot of people are complaining there's no little divot in this side to open up the kickstand opposed to this side. But if you pay attention, there are little nubs on the bottom, which are feet. They give you something to grab onto to open it from both sides if you want. That's probably not their intended purpose, but they work just fine. And I mean, really, is it that hard to get your fingernail underneath there to open it? So anyhow, that's kind of the whole layout of the thing. I'm not going to go over all the ports. Everybody's done all that kind of stuff before. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a little boot test here between the iPad mini and the Surface, since I got them both down. I got the camera here. And that's typically what I see. Surface usually boots up a little bit faster. And yeah, granted, this is probably a newer generation opposed to an older generation. This is kind of like the iPad 2, pretty much a shrunken iPad 2. Of course, the Surface has the Tegra 3. I think it's 1.3 gigahertz, 4 core. I guess it has a fifth core that's used for low power mode, but I don't believe Microsoft is using it at the moment, from what I've been reading online. And I'm not sure why yet, but hopefully it'll be something that they employ in the future. But really good boot time, it's under 30 seconds. I can't complain considering it's booting pretty much the entire OS. It's Windows 8. It's just Windows 8 designed for an ARM processor. Otherwise, it has all the functionality of full Windows 8. There's nothing that's missing. Not that I can find. While something like iOS is kind of a, it's OS 10 based, but it's cut down, it's cut back. It's missing a lot of features, obviously. And so that's pretty good boot time for something like that. So we can get rid of the mini here. And I got their nice picture light going on here. Kind of a neat feature. I have mine not to lock once it boots, but every time the first boot up, you always have to get into it. And so there's your Metro Start screen. I really like this interface, I really do. It's very fluid. The whole, as you can see here, the operating system is very fluid. Frame rates are held ridiculously high. There's no complaints there. It's not hard to get to the other side of your applications. I do wish that they allow us to have 4 rows. And I know I've seen a couple pictures, and I haven't seen a video yet, but there's been a bug that happens sometimes when people restart, and they'll end up with 4 rows for a short amount of time, and everything fits perfectly fine. And everything's perfectly fine in size and everything, and I think that's something Microsoft could really let us have the option of a 3 or 4 row. And we just save a little more real estate in the screen, sliding back and forth and whatnot here. But you do have the option, of course, you can pinch out and get a whole overview. So you can click from one end to the other end very quick. So that is nice. It's probably a little bit easier than having to navigate through page and page and page and page of applications on something like iOS. Android you can get kind of the scrolling screen too. So, but iOS you pretty much just go page by page by page, and you don't have any choice. Unless, of course, you want to just search, and you can do that here. If I wanted to bring up my news app right there, just start typing. There's nothing to touch, nowhere to go, no special place to start searching or anything. You just start typing on the start screen, and it just starts searching for you. You can search in all these different locations, all these different apps that allow you to search within them. So it's a really nice feature, and go right into news, and there you are. And actually, this Bing News program here comes on the tablet. It's quite nice. I like it. There's a pretty good amount of information, and seems to load fast. Looks nice. I have no complaints. Of course, you can get whatever you want. The screen itself, it's not a Retina display or anything like that. I believe it's 1366 by 768. Don't quote me on that, but it's really close to that. And I'm not sure what they're doing with the screen, but it is still an amazingly beautiful screen. It's very easy to read on. It's very sharp. I know they have the sub-pixel rendering going on, opposed to the iPad Mini, which the screen is. It's not bad, but it is a little pixely looking, which surprised me coming from Apple. I was kind of surprised it didn't have a Retina display, and it's one thing that disappointed me with it. But I really wanted to try it out. I liked the size of it. I always thought the iPad was a little unwieldy. The surface again is very close to the iPad, but it's not anywhere near as wide, and it just seems to make the difference. I'm not sure why. I can't hold it in one hand. I know some people can hold the Surface in one hand. I have small hands. It's not going to happen. But I still have no problem with it. It is balanced very well. That's another thing Microsoft went into time to take into. Everything is balanced very well. It feels equal from every side you try to hold it on. It's not like one side's feeling heavier than the other. It's not the lightest tablet, but it's only, I believe, 6/100th of a pound heavier than the iPad. So we're not talking about like it's going to break your arm off or anything like that. I know some people say you can't hold it one hand or you're going to hurt your wrist. I don't know what kind of wrist you have, but you better start working out because I'm by no means the best shaped person, and no problem. I can easily hold the tablet one handed, and I know a lot of people are saying, of course, it's missing the animation, which doesn't bother me. I don't need a fancy animation. I mean, it's got this little pull out and pull in kind of thing. Flips, it's done, it's over. It works just fine. And a lot of people say they don't like this view, this portrait view. I quite like it. I mean, one of the things I do a lot with the tablet, of course, is browse the web. It's a browsing device for me. And I've been very happy with Internet Explorer. It's ridiculously quick and smooth. You can see it loaded MSN there plenty fast. Again, very fluid. Very fluid. I mean, it tracks your finger damn near perfectly. And I find that pretty impressive. And again, the screen is very easy to read. I can read anything on the screen right now, no problem. Pinch and zoom again, very fluid. Excellent browser. I can't complain about it at all. And I like having this kind of long view because, I mean, look at how much information you get on the page in one shot. You don't even have to scroll that much. You go to something like Yahoo, and you get almost the entire page loaded up in one shot. And I think that's very nice. I mean, you're only talking about that much on the bottom that you're missing. And again, I can read everything that's on here. Nothing is too small, too pixelated. It's like I said, whatever they're doing with the screen, with the rendering, is just really well done. And like I said, just impressed with the overall browsing experience. It's Internet Explorer, not cut down version. It's not missing anything. Yeah, there's a few websites you can go to that aren't going to show Flash, not because the tablet doesn't support it, because it's not on their whitelist. But there's a couple ways you can get around it if you go online. Just search very easily. Enable Flash on all sites. You can find a way to go around. It's just a little registry hack, and I hope it's something Microsoft maybe gives us in the future for an option. But it's better than having no option at all. And that's one of the nice things about this tablet is full operating system. It has a registry just like Windows, has all the registry options just like Windows, has all the Windows, all the control panels, all the system settings, everything just like Windows. So you're not, a lot of people say it's kind of discombobulated, being the fact that you have your Metro interface, and then, of course, we'll put it back this way, your desktop interface. It's hard to figure out what goes where. This is Windows. What's hard to figure out? I just don't understand it. Everything that's going to be on your normal Windows desktop is right here. As you can see, I have an icon for the control panel right there. All the control panel options you want right there. USB 2.0 port built right in. Pretty much everything I've tried so far has worked. Even my little home-built USB DAC the AMB Gamma 2 USB DAC. It's a self-built kit running on a standard USB 2 connection. Plug it in, works perfectly. Sounds coming right out of it. Shuts the sound off on the tablet. Everything works just like it should, like if I plugged it into my full-size desktop. Like I said, once again, just no complaints. It's not hard to navigate. You can make the icons larger like you see there. I really enjoy the fact that it has the full OS. It gives you so much more options to customize or tweak or do anything you want like that. One thing I do wish Microsoft would give us is the ability to customize the background here. I don't see any reason why you can't do it. Yeah, it's got some parallax scrolling going on, but that's not a big deal. I think we can all figure out what kind of size image we need to put behind there. Hopefully somebody will find a way to hack it. I don't mind their little images they have and their colors and whatnot, but sometimes it's just nice to have something that's a little personalized, or sometimes something that's very simple, but unique in your own way. And that's kind of one of the few things I miss, but that's still the tiles and everything. I love the idea of the live tiles. I mean, I have kind of, my live tiles here kind of situated into one chunk, so I can view them all at once. I mean, they work really well. Another trick that I was going to show you is, I don't know how many people realize this, but like I said, you can pinch here out, but you can actually do this in a lot of places. And I'm sure I haven't discovered them all, but if you go into all your applications, and if you have a long list, I mean, I don't have too long of a list, but if you have a lot of applications on there, you can actually pinch out here. And you get to list everything alphabetically, and then any kind of actual folder divisions that you have on there. And I mean, I think that's a nice feature. And it's not really documented anywhere. The one of those undocumented things, and Apple's kind of been good for that too, doing their undocumented features. I'm sorry. And then you can actually also do that in your People Hub. So you can scroll through here, and I have quite a few contacts in here. There you go. So you can jump from one end to the other in your People Hub, which I find to be, again, a nice hidden feature. It's not mentioned anywhere at all. I don't know why. Just a little pinch like that, and you can go from one end to the other. You don't have to scroll through it all. It would be nice if, like Windows Phone 8, you can click on the titles, and it'll bring up the selection like that. That's where I find more, discombobulation between operating systems. Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8 are similar in the way they look with the tiles and everything, but its operations are different. And that's one of those things that I miss, is I have, a Lumia 920, and that's actually what the whole review is being recorded on right now, is the Lumia 920. That's one of the things I really miss, is being able to jump like that in the People Hub. Most of the other places I don't have any problem with. I'm not doing any of that kind of jumping around. I think the store could be a little bit better organized. It's not bad. It gives you some options. You see, obviously I was searching for weather before. I do like the fact that everything resumes to right where you were. I mean, you can see I booted this from scratch. I've done nothing to it, and it still knows that I was searching for weather. So that's really nice. And it's a nice feature. I mean, granted, this doesn't make a lot of difference, but it is helpful at times. I have no problems with the gestures. I kind of like them. Definitely more gesture heavy than iOS, but I think that's a good thing. It's a touch screen. It's supposed to be. Slide from this side, you can get your charms, as you call them. I don't know why they call them charms. Search, share, start, devices, edit, or settings. And of course, you can swipe them from the side here, the previous applications you've been using. Swipe in and back, you get your multitasking there. Again, that works really well. I'm going to try and do a little bit of reviewing and whatnot on some applications, and I know I'm probably getting pretty long here in this video. I really like it. I really do. And I'm the kind of person that has pretty much been an Apple person for many, many years now. I actually worked for the Apple Store probably about 11 years ago, right when they started just first opening. It was the fourth one that ever opened. I'm really impressed here by Microsoft. I really am. I think they did an excellent job on this. More than I would have expected out of Microsoft. You know, I think they need a little bit better advertising campaign instead of a bunch of fancy hip commercials that all they show with a bunch of things clicking. It's like that's nice, it's cool, but it's not doing what you need to do. Um, you need to show a little bit of the stuff in operation. But for next video, I'll get into more with the trackpad and the keyboard and maybe an application. I got a couple here I'd like to review. I found some that are really nice, and I found some that not so good. And maybe if somebody ever watches a review that's working on the application, that's developing the application, maybe they'll make some changes. So I think it's worth giving it a shot. There are definitely applications coming. I mean, it is a Windows 8 ecosystem, and so we have, and it's going to be developed on the big PC for the Metro interface. It's pretty much going to work on here, so you're going to get the stuff. I mean, you don't have Facebook. A lot of people complain there's no Facebook app. Well, there's a couple third-party Facebook. They have a couple of them right there, and I like them, but they give me a live tile update, and it's really the only thing I'm looking out of a Facebook app is live tile update. Other than that, you have full internet. You go to your home PC. You don't go on your home PC and look for a Facebook application to update Facebook. You go to the website. You go to facebook.com. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that here. It's the same exact experience. There's nothing different. The same website. Everything loads just fine. There's no crippled website, no mobile website. There's the full desktop website right here. There's no reason why you shouldn't just use that. I don't understand why people are looking so much for these kind of programs. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have the live tile update. Well, they got third-party ones to do that for me. So I just don't see the necessary use of it. But nonetheless, we'll call this the end of the video here, and next time we'll do something different with, like I said, with the touchpad and some applications. So far, good job, Microsoft. I like it.